you know, this is a really important project. And it's also a really fun project, and it's rare when those two things come together. What we're trying to do is look at two of the truly seminal works of both gay theater and American theater. Lillian Hellman's The Children's Hour, a play that dates from 1931, it's sort of unheard of from that period of time, was such a revolutionary work, both for her work and also just for American theater. It was a female playwright. She was writing about lesbianism, which had certainly not been considered on the Broadway stage. She was a very young playwright, and it's amazing that the piece was ever produced, let alone became such a major success. Her work in the play is really quite striking. We know now that she was hiding many things, perhaps covering up her own very closeted lesbianism, her own kind of feelings about relationships, and certainly her own feelings about society and the focus of what lying can do in a society. For her, the play was never a lesbian play or a gay play. It was a play about the big lie, as she put it. And of course, who knows what the big lie to Lillian Hellman really was, since so much of her life sort of consisted of deception. It's very interesting that this would be her first play. It's a remarkable piece. When you go back to it and look at it after so many years, I think we forget about how good it is. So many people just think of it because of the final scene in the play, which has been done countless times in a million acting classes. But it is so much more than that final scene. And when that final scene comes after the cumulative effect of seeing the entire play, it really is a gut punch that still really packs a wallop, an emotional wallop. The play is still very, very disturbing, and that's one of the main reasons I wanted to do it. I'm always looking for pieces that really shake an audience up, and I think that The Children's Hour still does that. The other play, Boys in the Band, is also a play that everybody, or a lot of people, know about but have never really actually seen. It certainly has a lot of importance. It was the first sort of mainstream gay successful play off Broadway. It certainly at that time was noted for depicting homosexuals on stage in a way that had never been done, in a very supposedly natural and open and realistic way, which it certainly does. I think the play is more talked about now than actually seen, and I think a lot of people have preconceived thoughts about it, thinking that it presents gay characters in an unfortunate bad light or in a cliche light. I think that usually comes from people who haven't actually spent time with the play and really looked at it. It's actually a really powerful, incredibly funny, and truthful picture, I think, of many different stratas of gay life. Some of them are things that in these times of gay liberation and gay is great and gay is good and all that good positive reinforcement, we sometimes forget that there is still also a darker side sometimes, and there are still plenty of gay people who struggle with their own identity, who struggle with the closet still, who certainly struggle with maybe not feeling totally all right about themselves, no matter how many times they may read that in the press. And I think that kind of self-doubt and sadly self-hate is still an aspect of gay life and of human beings in general. And so I think the play kind of transcends its cliches and transcends its press, and is actually a really beautiful portrait of human beings just struggling with themselves and with dealing with each other. So in that hothouse atmosphere of this very unique birthday party, I think we can see a lot of ourselves in it, no matter whether we're gay, straight, bi, transgender, whatever we are. If you're a human being, you can relate to things at this birthday party. I think we've all been to parties like this and would rather not be there. Except when you're watching the play, then you can have a good time watching it. So bringing these two plays together was just kind of an outrageous and outlandish and exciting and kind of thrilling idea. They've never been done and wrapped together, as far as I know. They're two real classics, I think, but they're classics that people may not have ever actually seen live. So, and to do them in a way that heightens their theatricality and heightens, most importantly, their intimacy and their relationship with you as an audience member is, I think, something really unique. What we're planning to do with both plays is to present them in a way that is very visceral, heightened, and very theatrical in two very different ways. The Children's Hour will be presented in the round at the Defunkt space in a very, very intense design that is highly stylized, a bit unnerving, and certainly a heightened theatrical, dramatic way. It heightens the theatricality of the piece in a lot of ways, and the sort of stylization of the piece. The exact opposite is the case with Boys in the Band, which we're going to present in an apartment space so that the audience, and this will be a very select group of audience members, not many at each performance, will be feeling like they're just flies on the wall of this party as they watch it happening in real time, in a real space, right in front of them, with a very heightened, naturalistic style. So it's basically like being at the party without having to participate in the truth games, which is good, probably. However, you may do that in your own mind as you're watching. That would be just fine with me. But the contrast between the two should really make for a very exciting 2 evenings of theater. And I really hope that people will see both so that they can compare and contrast in their own minds and in their own conversations about, well, just what it means to be not gay or straight or anything in between, but just basically to be a human being, dealing with love and relationships and who we are, and life and mortality, and friendship, and all the various ways that makes our life richer and can also cause us a lot of pain. So it'll be an interesting exploration. I really hope you'll join us on the journey. Thanks.